Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to LIBOR's Wednesday webinar. My name is Marianne Monteleone. I'm Director of Education here at LIBOR, and this is one of our great Zoom how-to sessions with Betsy Coyne.
Side question. What happened? My first question, why did he do it?
We're thrilled to have her with us. So let me make sure I'm not on mute. Okay. Let me formally introduce Betsy, and then I'll turn it over to her. Zoom is here to stay, and the latest and greatest features that realtors should know. And let me just introduce. So well, welcome, Betsy. Betsy Coyne is a technology educator and coach and has specialized in technology training for over 30 years. After 8 years of conducting systems training for corporate America, she started PCMAC Technology, training people from a variety of industries how to use and experience technology by learning application usability. As an international Zoom instructor, she has trained thousands of people how to connect, teach, and manage business in a virtual world. In 2020, she created Technology for Real, an online learning academy for real estate professionals looking to incorporate technology into everyday aspect of their life and business. As a member of the National Real Estate Educators Association, or as we know it in the industry, REIA, she contributes her Zoom experience with various committees and has completed REIA's gold standard instructor certification, which honestly is not an easy task. While hosting workshops, meetings, and online summits, she is recognized as one of the most effective technology instructors for real estate associations nationwide. And we're thrilled to have her back with us to share that knowledge. So welcome, Betsy.
Thank you so much, Marianne, and hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be back for today's topic, which is all about these top features that Zoom provides you as realtors and what you get from being online and virtual. And some of them I'm going to present today are brand new. So always think in the back of your minds, what device are you coming to today to join today? And has that device been updated? And the reason I always bring that up with everyone is because there is a new feature where you can have a waiting room. You always could have a waiting room like you were in ours today, but now you can have video. So just think about the possibilities now. Your buyers, sellers, maybe you're having a state of the market event and you want people to show up, and when they're in the waiting room, they're greeted with a video, either you speaking, maybe it's something you put together with your listing. So I'm going to show you where that's located, but in order to have it, you need to make sure your Zoom is up to date. Same with this one, the hand gesture reactions. Pretty neat. It's uses the technology of your camera, your webcam. And I'll talk to you about the limitations. That one's, I got to throw in the fun stuff. Always. It's all about Zoom fun, not Zoom fatigue. So I'm going to show you that one as well. And then the next two involve, sharing your screen, which has always been there. But when I think about presenting to you today about the new features, top new features, they might be new to you. And some of them that are there involve sharing your presentation. So if you do envision yourself virtually coming to your clients or your staff, depending on what your role is, you really do want to embrace how are you going to show your information? Is it coming in the form of a PowerPoint presentation, perhaps, or maybe you use another type of presentation software, but I'm going to show you how to do that. Make sure you know all the features with sharing screen and what are new. And then that co-host area, I wanted you to start thinking about this too, if you haven't already. Maybe you come into this virtual event with a team, or maybe even just with one other person. And you're presenting, if you have a co-host, and there's a way to make them a co-host so that they can control everything in the Zoom meeting. We're going to cover that too. And then I always love this, the buyer-seller rooms. the Zoom term is breakout rooms, but we're going to go over how can I do that, Betsy? How can I set up my buyer seller rooms and have people pick? And that's a great top new feature, definitely. So starting off is this feature with the waiting room. And I do want to preface it with the fact that if you have a free account, which is the basic account, the free accounts that come with Zoom have been around the whole time we've been virtual. Now I'm going to go the 2 years we've been virtual. If we just look at that time frame, and it was very popular or well known that Zoom was giving the 40-minute limit only to free accounts that were having group meetings. It was a case where if you were one-on-one with a free account, you could be on for hours, and that's not the case anymore. So for those people out there with a free account, I would love to know if that's you. And so in the chat today, I'm gonna put here, do you have a free account? And that allows me to not only ask the question, but also if you could answer in the chat just with a yes or a no, do you have a free account? It just allows me to go back and see how many were free. There are many, many features that you do get in a free account, but then there are many that you don't. And some of them I'll be talking about today. And that chat is available. If you're coming to us from a computer today, you'll see that in your Zoom toolbar at the bottom. Just click on chat, and you can put it in there. If you're coming from a mobile device, iPad or an iPhone, you do want to just lightly tap your screen because your controls do hide when you're on a mobile device in the Zoom app. And when you lightly tap the screen, I have one here that I like to simulate. You will locate the chat in the top right corner. You'll see a ... where it says more.
Betsy, the chat is disabled.
Oh, all right. I see. Okay. We had a little chat discussion at the beginning here. All right. Thank you for that. Go ahead now. It's been opened. There's a great feature in meeting where you can open it up to everyone. All right. Beautiful. Thank you for lots of yeses and some no's. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Oh, so do you have a free account is the question. So a yes or a no. And then I'll just go back there and glance. A lot of you have the free accounts. Okay, good to know. Really good to know. And please ask your questions of me today, which is, what do I get if I start paying Zoom? Is it worth my while? I'd love to have that discussion with you. So let's go forth. I want you to, for all those yeses in the chat, this is now something that you're going to have to envision. You're going to say, wow, I might want this. This might be just what I need. And I'm going to pay for Zoom, the pro account for the year, a little bit over $110 a year, $115 around there. And I'm going to be able to make a video and put that in my waiting room. And this is what the screen looks like. So I'm kind of taking you behind the scenes. You see up at the top, this is a slide. I made a slide in my PowerPoint. So you're seeing a screenshot. And at the very top, you said zoom.us. That's where you would go on the web to go see your account. I've given you the whole URL /profile/setting, and that takes you directly to your settings. And you should do this, even if you have a free account or a paid account. You should know what your settings are, and you should know whether they're on or off. And that's where you'll find them. This particular screen is the waiting room setting. And you can see there by that little blue switch that it is on in this case. Then at the bottom of this screen, I'm just going to give you a little bit of a focus here with an arrow. Right down there, you see there, it says customize waiting room. When you click there, and so I'm just going to simulate this for me, Zoom brings you to yet another screen where you can Here, hold on one second. So Zoom brings you to another screen where you get to customize it. What does customize mean? Well, on the left-hand side there, you've got three options. You can go for the default screen, which is most likely what you saw today. I didn't ask Marianne or Ethan what their waiting room, actually I did see it. So it's that plain white screen with the text on it, which says, please wait, we'll be with you momentarily. And then it has the title of what you're attending today. That's the default screen. So you could greet your guests with that. And in a free account, that's what you're going to see. With the other ones, though, a logo, you could put in your branding, your logo, and a description of maybe a paragraph of what people should expect when they come in or what they should get excited about seeing. And then finally, that last option, which is video. And so I've given you a little snippet here. And I have a video that I put together, and it looks something like this. So when you enter my waiting room on my events, you would be greeted with this. Hi there, and welcome. I'm Betsy Coyne, and I'm here to help you master technology. While you're here in the waiting room, please check to make sure that your video is working properly, your sound, as well as your microphone. And if you haven't updated your Zoom application recently, you can exit out and go find the updates either within your own local computer or from the Zoom website. Once the main meeting room opens, then I'll see you inside. All right, so pretty straightforward, very short. It actually will repeat. It's built that way. So I'm starting to envision what you could do. You could put together photographs of your current listings, possibly, and narrate it over it. You would need some sort of other program. Zoom doesn't let you make the video in here. You would need some other external program that you use already. And if you have nothing, you can even use your free Zoom account to record yourself. Let's have that talk at the end as well. So you could do it in here. You could share a screen. You could bring up your PowerPoint. You could look right into the camera, and you could say, "Hey everyone, Betsy here, and I'd like to tell you about the state of the market in your region," or whatever. And then just go on and show your presentation. And that recording you can load in here. So all very possible. And when people are coming to your event, they're already enticed to stay. That's what we want. We want them to stay. We want them to come back for more. And your virtual event can really help them with that. Now, the next item I was going to show you today, and then I'll break for questions shortly. So if you have them, please put them in the chat. I'm just going to go through some of the features, and then we will open up for questions. So the next one is this hand gesture and reactions. So now I'm going to ask you, we're going to work on reactions here for a minute. So again, if you're on a computer, I'm going to guide you to where this is. On a computer, if you look in your Zoom toolbar, there's a reactions button. So just for me, I don't want to, there is like emojis, heart, and you can show love, you can show appreciation, surprise, celebration, but there's also two buttons there. Well, actually, let's see if it's turned on. Okay, because I am in someone else's account right now. Okay, there it is. So there's a green circle with a check mark, and there's a red circle with an X. And I can use those as sort of a way for you to answer a question for me. And so I'd like you to answer this question for me. If you are here today on a computer of some kind, a computer, desktop, laptop, Mac, Windows, a computer. So all you iPhone, iPad, mobile people are going to answer red. So if you're on a computer, answer green. That's the question. Are you coming today to this meeting, joining us right now on a computer of some kind, desktop or laptop? Answer green. And so everybody else, please plug in vote red. If you're coming to us from an iPhone or an iPad or an Android phone, your Samsung phone, your Windows phone, your tablet, answer red. And using this reactions in a way that I don't have to look at the chat. And I see, thank you. If you can't find the buttons, you can please put green or red, the words, in the chat. That'll do as well. If you're not seeing these buttons, I always think that too. If you're on, I can see the green people are answering. So if you're not seeing that that reactions button, it might be under more ... Because if you're coming to us from a smaller laptop screen, once you're seeing my shared screen, sometimes the bar gets shorter and you might have to go to more, and then you might see reactions from there. So try that. All the green people, all the mobile people though, I can see one. So those are actually good numbers. There's a number of you who may still be looking for the button or just might be listening in today. So, because what I like about this is I can see a tally as the co-host. I'm a co-host today, as well as Marianne and Ethan, host and co-host. We can all see a tally. And it's a great way to ask a question of your audience. How many people are looking for a house in region A? You could ask a question this way, and it's a great informal poll, and you get instant feedback from your audience. So
It says the participant is not allowing us to do it.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let's see. And are you on a computer or a mobile device? The person who just asked.
Yes, I am. And I'm still hitting it and nothing.
And which one are you on, a computer or
On a computer?
On a computer?
On a laptop.
On a laptop. And when you see the reactions button and you're clicking on, you see all the line, the row of emojis.
I'm hitting the green and nothing, the yes button and nothing.
Huh. And do you get an error message that says that you can't?
Let me continue going down to see, because I said it before when I was first doing it, and I'm still not on it.
Okay. All right. No worries. You can actually just put a green in the chat and we'll figure out. Sometimes because Zoom is an application and there's a lot of things that can make it act one way or another, depending on lots of reasons. So I'd love to figure that out with you. Why? So we can always, you can always, you'll see at the end, I'll give you my contact information and you can always send me, you got it. I can see if was that Elizabeth speaking? I think it was. Yeah, I see your yes showed up. Excellent. Terrific. That's my goal, everybody. The goal is to find it and use it and then be able to, you could actually, it's a button for you. So you could actually turn it on and then turn it back off again. We can also, as the host and co-hosts, we can also clear all of your feedback, which is a great feature. So thank you so much for participating in that. It's really, this feature is available to all of us to use in these virtual meetings, right? When we think about doing business virtually, many of us are thinking, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I know the tech well enough. But Betsy, I want it to feel like I'm sitting right across the kitchen table from someone. I want it to feel really comfortable. And when you engage them like that and ask them questions and allow them, and it doesn't have to involve a button that they push, but it can involve typing something in the chat or even physically raising their hand. Now watch this. So I'm going to just clear all your feedback. Thank you so much for participating. It looks like most of you who answered are coming to us from a computer today, and that does help me quite a bit. So what Zoom has done, now if you watch my screen, so you'd have to find me. We're all here in these video rectangles, and right now I'm the one speaking. So my rectangle, I'm probably down the side of your screen, or if you're on a mobile device, across the bottom. If you notice in mine, I can just raise my hand physically, just raise my hand. And if there it goes. Now my other hand was here and I wasn't doing a thing. I did not click on the raise hand button. And it literally takes your gesture and it puts up the emoji. It also works with the thumbs up like this. If I physically put up my thumbs up, so if I wanted to give someone a thumbs up like that, the gesture actually shows up. So here's the secret. you need to go into your settings and turn it on. And where is that located? So follow along. I've given you a little screenshot here to find it. You're going to go down to the button. Now in this screenshot, it says start video. You see down there in the bottom left corner. This is just a screenshot. Yours today, if you're on video with me, then yours probably says stop video. If your video is off, which some of your videos are off, I can see that, then the button says start video. It's not going to start your video. You're just going to click the little arrow next to it, and then you'll get that pop-up menu, and I want you to go to video settings, and then you will get the screen that you see in front of you. But yours is going to overlay mine. And then look at the very bottom there. I'm going to give it a little focus here. Right down here is where we're paying attention. Once you get there, scroll all the way down. You have to make sure you're here on the general. The left side of the screen has to say general in order to see those little thumbs up emojis when you scroll all the way down. So make sure that once you get there, you look on that left sidebar. Make sure you click on general and then go all the way down till you see those two checkboxes. And one of them says, activate the following emojis based on hand gestures. That's what we're looking for. Okay, so I see some hands up. You might just be playing with the feature. I'm going to open it up now to some questions about what we've had so far. If you have your hand raised, your digital raise hand, and you have a question, I'm going to go to Elizabeth. Do you have a question?
I'm still trying to figure this out. Here.
Okay.
I'm
And
going to lower the hand. Let's see if it goes down. It went down. Thank you.
okay. Yes, you're welcome.
I have
Okay.
not got into the settings yet.
Okay. And
Did I?
okay, so let's go through that again. First, locate the start or stop video button. And that's located in the bottom of your Zoom toolbar on the far left. So that's what you're looking for first. And next to that button, there's a tiny up arrow. So that's the first thing to look for. When you click that tiny up arrow, the little up arrow is next to the start or stop video button. Did you locate that?
Yes, I
And-
did locate it, but I'm pressing it and nothing's happening.
Okay, so it should just take one single click and you should get a menu. And are you on a computer as well?
Yes, I am on a laptop.
Okay.
Above it, there's a blue box now that says video settings.
Yes. Oh, well, that's mine. Make sure you're not clicking on mine.
I think I'm clicking on yours and I'm wondering if it's
So make sure
mine
that.
is showing up behind your screen. Do you know what I mean on my computer?
Oh, okay.
You would see yourself.
All right, here. Let's do, I was trying to get my mouse back here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to navigate the screen away. Let me see. Hold on one second. Just trying to get the screen here. Just annotate. There we go. And let me just navigate away from this. There you go. So now my screen's gone and you have some white at the bottom now. So maybe now your Zoom toolbar is easier to find. And you're going to locate that little up arrow next to the video button. And then you're going to see that the video settings.
Yes, I got it now. Thank you.
Awesome. You're very welcome. Okay. Is it Afatan? I see your hand raised. Do you have a question? And if you don't, that's fine. You might just be playing with the button. You can also lower your hand once you found raise hand, or if it went up because of the physical gesture. You can also
click on video settings.
Yep. So did somebody just ask about video settings?
Yes, do I click on that?
Yes, you do. Click on video settings. Now, do you see a white screen appear?
I see myself, yeah, on the screen.
All right, terrific. So now here, hold on. I see annotation is on. I'm going to just disable that. Wonderful. Once you get to video settings, then you're going to click on general on the left side.
Okay,
Perfect. And now when you get to general, you're going to scroll all the way down. That right side will scroll and you'll see all the little thumbs up emojis.
yes.
Under there are two checkboxes. One of them says activate the emojis with hand gestures.
But there's no check boxes there.
Okay.
Right
So-
above the hand gestures, there's reaction skin tone, and then there's a checkbox that says automatically keep Zoom desktop client up to date.
That's a good one too. All right, so Jennifer, what I'm going to tell you, you can't do it now, but when the meeting's over, you're going to update your Zoom application on this laptop or computer, whichever type you're coming from, and then that checkbox will appear. It just means that your Zoom isn't up to date. That's all.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. And Ruth, do you have a question? Okay, no.
You just answered my question. I assumed that I wasn't updated, but
All right, I love it. Okay, so moving right along to this next feature, which I talked about, which is having a co-host. Having a co-host help you. If you're here today saying, I'm going to get this Zoom thing, Zoom is here to stay. And I know I can reach so many more buyers or sellers in doing my business virtually because many people have come to realize that it's so easy to just hop on and be there in your event virtually. So if what's keeping you from it is thinking, if I just had a helper to help me along, well, then you need to assign a co-host. And this is done in the meeting. So you would invite your colleague, whoever it may be, or employee, whoever it may be, along with you, staff member, and you show up together early in the meeting before anybody arrives, or maybe they're out in the waiting room. And you're going to bring up the participants list. And this is what it looks like. So I've given you a simulation. And you literally, this is what I do, folks. I set up my devices here and I log in to my own meeting from multiple devices so that I can see what it'll look like when these new features come out. And so that's why the screenshot says Betsy, Betsy, and Betsy. But if you can imagine, one of them would say your helper's name, and then you would hover over their name and you'd say make co-host. And what happens after that is the person is given all of the same functionality and features that you have as a host. And they can mute people, they can admit people from the waiting room. They can launch a poll, which is another, I've done that at our February webinar Wednesday. So if you go back into your, I believe it's called your members area, Marianne, I'm sure we'll put a link in the chat, but the February one we did on polls. So you can launch a poll in a Zoom meeting and then your helper can do the launching. So while you're presenting, this person can be pushing the buttons, pulling the strings, and it's extremely helpful. And another area that I use a co-host is in setting up the breakout rooms. And if you're new to breakouts in terms of a virtual breakout, I want to tell you that it mimics a physical breakout in that if you invited your maybe potential buyers to a meeting, to an event, and you wanted to break them out into separate groups, let's say, maybe by region or by listing, or maybe just have couples in separate rooms. Breakout rooms mimic actually having physical rooms. If you imagined you were in a conference center, which is your Zoom room, and then off to the side, you had these physical rooms which had doors. And anything that happens in there, you cannot hear. So you can actually assign people to rooms, and then the conversations that go on in those rooms isn't heard from in here. That's what a breakout room is. And I would love to know again, please. So with a response either in the chat or with your let's do it with your thumbs up this time, since we just talked about the reaction with your thumbs up. You can give me a physical thumbs up if you're on camera. You can click on the emoji for thumbs up. Tell me if you've been in a breakout room. That's what I would love to know. Have you been in a breakout room? And as I look around, thank you so much. I can see the thumbs up are going up. And I also get a tally. Okay. And then for all the people who are thinking, well, should I do nothing if I've never been in a breakout? You can find the surprise emoji, like, wow, I never even knew that that existed. You can give me maybe a different emoji, and that's also on the reactions. I like doing that. It's fun to try some of these buttons while you're here, especially if you've never tried them before. So I did get a number of you who I'd say maybe it looked like maybe a third who were here. Number did not answer. So if you have a question about breakouts, please ask, because I would say it's the feature that sets Zoom apart from the rest of the platforms out there easily.
I don't really have a question, but what happened was when I went back from the other screen, I lost the main screen.
Oh,
Everybody's up at the top, and then it has a Zoom sign-in screen on my main screen.
okay. So what you're saying is you cannot see me anymore or anybody
I
else?
can see you. It's up at the top. I have, I put everyone up at the top, but on my main computer, I cannot see your screen. I can only see
Oh.
people.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So you can't see my shared screen. Are you, and you're only on one computer screen today? One computer?
Yes. Yeah. I don't know how to get back there.
It sounds like if you're on a Windows computer or a Mac, they usually have that bar that goes across the bottom of the computer screen, not within inside Zoom. And if you, I think, is it Carmen? You're the one before had said that my screen was behind, or maybe in front of yours or behind. But
Yes.
if you can go down to the very bottom of your computer screen and locate the Zoom icon, the Zoom logo, that should bring the Zoom application back. That's where the meeting's happening today.
Got it.
Hopefully that
Thank
helps.
you. That
You're
was
welcome.
simple. Thank you.
Wow, this is like, troubleshooting, and I don't even see you on camera today. So I'm happy that that worked. Wonderful. So just to continue on with breakouts, when you are the host or the co-host, so it's only us that get this feature. So when you're the host, you're going to have this feature available to you. And you do get to decide how you want to break them out. You can do it automatically, which is a math equation. It just says, hey, if you've got 50 people attending and you just break them out into 5 rooms, you'll get 10 people in each room. Done. And it'll mathematically randomly put people in rooms. The brand new feature is that I can say, well, my co-host needs to partake in the event, so they will be included in those breakout rooms. But I have to tell you, most of the people that I work with and teach always ask me this question: is there a way that I can exclude? Can I keep them out of there? Because I want the co-host to stay here in the main meeting room while that event's going on, so that if anybody enters who isn't assigned yet, they can be greeted properly. So brand new feature, love it, how to incorporate your co-hosts or exclude them. But look at this one at the bottom. And yes, I skipped over manually. You could certainly put together groupings if you knew the client's name, they are already a current client of yours, and you would like to assign them by name to a certain room, you can do that. But this one, I love this. You can let participants choose a room. So if they're all in the room with you right now, you can say, hey, you know what? All the buyers, you're going to have a room to pick, and we're going to have a presentation going on in there. And all the sellers, we have a room for you, and there'll be a presentation going on in there. And what they see is, once you create the rooms, is they see something like this. This is a simulation. I had an event, so I just gave you a little snippet of what it looks like. And yes, you can name the rooms, buyer room, seller room. You can certainly do that. And what people see is this window with the word join. And then all they do is they click join. They're already in the meeting with you. And then they'll just get a prompt in their Zoom toolbar to click on breakout rooms. Very, very nice feature. And it's a way that you can almost have like a little expo or even like an open house event, you know, maybe for your brokerage, if that's something you want to do, and people can move about from here, which is the main meeting room, into those physical or virtual discussion rooms. Really, really nice. And you can have presentations going on in each room. If you have a person dedicated there to do that, you can do that as well. One of the other features, though, is that if your presentation is coming from you, you can present from the main meeting room and share screen. So this is the part that I mentioned up at the top of the hour. When you share screen in a Zoom meeting, you're the one in control. This is really the main way to convey your information in your meeting, you know, your presentation. And this is what the share screen looks like. For those who haven't done it yet, you do have the regular features, which is what this screen is. There are some brand new features which Zoom has given us now, and those are located at the bottom. So if I were to simulate, if I wanted to show a video and I wanted to play it for everyone, but they were all in the breakout rooms, look at the boxes at the bottom now. I can say, yep, the video has sound. So I would like to share sound when I share it. And then there's another checkbox now that says, share it to the breakout rooms. So I can have all these discussion rooms going on, maybe 2, maybe 10, maybe 20. And then from this room where we are all now, this is the main meeting room, I can start my presentation or my video and then say, share it out there. And everybody sees the same presentation. So maybe it's a welcome. Maybe it's a welcome while you're in your discussion group. Please feel free to 1, 2, 3, and you give them their instructions, and then you end it. And then in the discussion groups, then the assignment starts, whatever it might be. And then more in there, a different presentation starts. So it's a real new feature and a flexible way to take your presentation from here and show it into the breakout rooms. Are there any questions here? I'm going to stop here a minute because this share screen has a lot on it. And there are some features there that, does anybody currently share screen where you would be interested in knowing how to go back and forth? Okay, so no questions there. I'm going to demonstrate then if there's no questions at this time. And you can certainly ask your question by clicking on the raise hand, the digital raise hand. I'll see that right away. If you're physically raising your hand, I can also see a few of you are on video today. Or you could certainly put your question in the chat and I will see it that way as well. But let me demonstrate an example. I'm going to go live now to the web. See, right now I've been sharing my PowerPoint with you, and we've been in this static area where I'm showing you screenshots, and I'm everything is pre-made. Very possible that you would want to do it that way. But watch this. I'm going to use what's called the new share feature. So I'm not going to stop the share. I'm going to do a new share. And then I'm going to pick the internet, my browser, which is open. And there it is. So my browser, and here I can just go live with you. So I can open up my browser. That's live Google. And I could do a presentation this way and go right to my Zoom account. And in my case, I like to demonstrate the settings, for instance. So now here is exactly what I was showing you. This is the waiting room. And now I am literally in my Zoom account on the web looking at the waiting room. And this is not the basic account. Remember that. So for all of you who answered yes, I have a free account, you will not see these options you'll only see this paragraph at the top when participants join. So now here's another case. I'm showing you a website with lots of little text. And you might be sitting there saying, I can't see that too well. That's very little because I'm on a widescreen monitor and everything is very small. So I have a feature in Share Screen, which is called Share Portion of Screen. And this is great when you have to show maybe a contract, a portion of a contract. I know you might not be doing the signing online or virtual, but if you're sharing something that has a lot of text on it, even if you want to talk about a contract and what the buyer might want in it, and you need to zoom in, no pun intended, you can do that with this. This is called sharing a portion of the screen. And I can actually make this area smaller. You see that? So now it looks like it got bigger, but I'm actually just sharing a portion of my widescreen that you saw last time. Very nice. So far you saw sharing a video or a presentation. You saw sharing with a new share going live to the browser, and then finally sharing a portion of your screen. Very helpful when you want to, as a realtor, do business virtually and have this flexibility, show information in this virtual way. And of course, people will rave, they'll come back for more each time. All right, so right now, let me just glance over here at the settings. I want to take you a little bit further. Here's the customized waiting room. So I'm going live now. So when I click there, this was the screen I told you about earlier. And yes, there is my video that I talked about. And I just mimicked it in my presentation. I put the video in here, but look at the other options. I wasn't able to show you this live. Now that I'm live, I can show you right from the web. The default screen will look like that in your waiting room. So you can just say, while you wait, here's the text up here. So you get to edit it, whatever you want that message to say. Here's the second one, a logo and a description. And the logo doesn't have to be your branded logo. I saw a real estate association, well, it was probably maybe at the state level in Arizona, sent me this one. And the ed director there works with me a lot and asks about, situations and how can we make them better. And this was one of them. And I thought, well, that's really great. What they did is instead of putting the logo, they put text here, and you can see the welcome and the star are there at the bottom. That's what goes in the center. So you really can get flexible with what people see while they're waiting for you. And you're limited here really just by characters. If you didn't do that, you can see right in the middle, it says upload logo. So you could really just put your logo in there and be all branded when people come in. Are there any questions on the waiting room? So I just look around. Are there any questions in the chat? Let me just check there. Okay, so I'm going to do the new share again. I'm going to work back to the PowerPoint, and I will open it up for any questions that you would like to ask. As I go back to the PowerPoint here, that's where we left off with sharing screen into the breakouts. And then, yes, this is what I was doing behind the scenes. Once you click share, then you were just seeing the result of what I was doing. The shared screen comes out into play. Now, what I want to tell you about, I brought you a free gift. I didn't tell Marianne I was going to do this, and I'm going to assume it's okay that I'm doing this, but I brought you a gift. And here's the information on the gift is that I have an event that I run every week called the Zoom Playground. And I would like to extend to everybody here today a free pass to come see me there, because sometimes you have questions that may not be answered here based on what today's topic is. And over there, we just practice and learn, and everybody asks questions on anything. And I do see many people, as Marianne said in my introduction, in the real estate business. So many people are a range of instructors to agents and brokers. So Please, I'm going to put in the chat here the information for this special offer. The website there is at the bottom. So you're going to go to, it's mastertechclass.com, and then it's Let's Play. And there's the link in the chat. And then you can take a picture of this screen with your phone if you want to remember that the code is LIBOR Day Pass, and that will give you the complimentary entry. And it's for those 2 dates. You can choose, you can come to both if you like. A day pass is usually just one, but there's a whole Facebook group of people where they attend practice sessions, because I really found that people were having trouble getting ready in Zoom because, well, where do you practice? You need all the people there to practice with. And that's the premise here. I also have another free checklist for you. And I'm going to put that, I'm going to just preface it with a free checklist for Zoom mastery. And that is at mastertechclass.com. And it's on my tools and resources page. So there's plenty of ways to get me there and over on Facebook. So let's open it up for questions. You can ask me anything. You have a question about something I've shown today that I brought you through today, something that you've been trying and wondered why it didn't work the way you thought it would.
Yes. Hi, Betsy. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, yes. Hi, this is Peter. So when you have a PowerPoint, it's always recommended to share the entire time and keep it up while you're presenting to someone and then have them just look at you on the small screen. Would you say?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Is
So
is it recommended to always keep the PowerPoint up the entire time you're doing a presentation?
I see. Okay. So sorry, I didn't hear. So the question is, what's usually recommended is, do you keep the PowerPoint up the whole time? And I'm going to just bring you a little bit further into that question, meaning like right now we're having a discussion and I'm leaving my PowerPoint up on the screen. Is that what you're talking about? Like when the conversation sort of goes off on a tangent,
Yeah.
or you expand upon something?
If you're walking them through the entire presentation and there's some pause there, and should you engage back to full screen or should you just keep the presentation up the whole time on the page you're on?
Yeah, very good question. What I'm going to say is it's probably a very personal decision based on who's presenting. There is a PowerPoint shortcut where I can turn the screen white. Here, let me just go back to it. Here, so I was on this screen. I can turn the screen. It's going to make me a liar now. There is a shortcut to turn the screen white. And if you can't, you're going to turn the screen white from the menu. So that's one way to do it. My preference, Peter, is that you do not stop the share. Stopping and starting. And what do I mean by that? So stopping is that when you say go back to full screen, I think you meant that. So that right now I stop the share and now it's all up to everybody's screens. People who have 2 monitors, everything sort of flickers. The main speaker, who is me right now making noise, goes on one screen, and then gallery view could be on another. You have the view button in the top right corner, so you can make your screen look differently than mine. You can make it look speaker versus gallery. So not everybody gets that full screen that you're talking about. So if you want to have control over what is seen in the meeting all the way through, or meeting or event, then I would keep the share screen in progress and just simply utilize the presentation features. That's what I would say. Does that help?
Yeah, it does. So just to be clear, when you have your PowerPoint up on your computer, desktop or MacBook or whatever it may be, you then activate Zoom as a host, and then you hit share screen, and whatever's on your desktop is viewed as a shared screen. Is that correct? Let me see.
Sort of. Everything that you said, I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to come back. Everything that you said, except for the last set statement, which is that when you share your screen, and I'm going to go back here. We're going to take a little field trip back to the, nope. Oh, went a little too far. So in the shared screen, can just talk from it. Okay, right here. So when you bring this up in your statement, you said exactly true. You bring PowerPoint up. Zoom is not open yet. You get that going. You actually, if you're going to need your browser to show them a website maybe or something else, open that too. If you're going to need a video and you want to show a video separate from your PowerPoint, some people do that, open the video and have that way. So everything that you're going to use in the meeting is open. Okay. And everything you're not going to use in the meeting or event is closed, is exited. Then when you start Zoom and you are the host or co-host, and you click the green button to share screen, you're going to see something like this. And in that second row are all the things, the 4 things that I just opened. The video's waiting for me. My PowerPoint's waiting for me. My browser's waiting for me, depending on how many browser windows I opened. If you choose desktop, you see that first one in the first row? Mm-hmm. If you share your desktop, you're going to share them everything that's on your computer screen. So if you have something else open, that will be available to them to see. And I'm going to say it both ways. Sometimes people do choose desktop so that they can then sort of hop around and go from thing to thing and not be stopping their share. So that would give you full flexibility. I tend to pick the applications in the second row and use my new share button to go from one to the other. So I can stay within.
So with a PowerPoint, you would just open it up, and then it wouldn't be a shared desktop. It would just be sharing. You go to the second row and click on the actual PowerPoint to share it.
You got it.
And then when you're in there, it's advisable to stay in the PowerPoint the whole time and allow them to just see you on a smaller screen as you're walking them through it.
You got it. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else have a question like that? That's the typical type of question. It could even be, I've never shared screen before. How do I start? You could probably, I don't know, Marianne might want to chime in here with the videos that we have. So far, we've built up quite a library of the topics I've taught over almost a year, maybe a year now, of all the different Zoom topics. So,
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep. And I'll put it in the chat. If you go to lirealtor.com/webinars, all of the recorded webinars will be there, and there's a great history or catalog of sessions that Betsy has taken us from the moment we went virtual all the way to today. And it's a commitment that LIBOR leadership has made to the members for each Wednesday to bring information and how-to sessions, and this is one of them. I'll put it in the chat.
All right, that's wonderful. Thank you, Marianne. And also somebody had asked earlier about updating, or we were talking about updating. And so while there is sort of a pause here and someone might be thinking about what question you want to ask, because we do have a few minutes left, let me show you with some screenshots how you can tell what version, this is for computer people today, what version you're running. And so what you're going to do right now in this meeting, in the upper left corner, locate it, there is a tiny green shield. So now I know that I'm sharing my screen. I'm sharing it so that I'm showing you what you're looking for, but it's a tiny green shield. Don't click on or tap on mine that has the circle around it. Locate yours. Now I'll go to my next screen. From there, once you click on it, you're going to see something like this. It's going to be different, but it's going to show you what meeting you're in, what meeting ID. It'll say who the host is and the passcode and all that. And in the upper right corner of just that little window, there's a little gear symbol. Like we see it a lot with settings. And if you go there, it'll take you right back around to that same settings that we were in. Same settings. That's the settings for our desktop application. There on the computer that you're using, Zoom is a program. It's like Word or Excel. It's a program like PowerPoint. So it doesn't get updated automatically. Somebody earlier, I don't know if it was Elizabeth or Carmen, somebody who spoke said, or it was Jennifer, said, oh, I saw the checkbox that says automatically keep it up to date. That's it. That's a setting. So you can go on the left side there. I think it's under general. But right now that you found your way there, look under statistics. My screenshot was taken a while ago. It was 5.9. Now it's 5.10.4. So dazzle me, put in the chat for me. What number do you see there for your version? Put the number there in the chat for me. What version? What version? And then follow me there. So in the chat, tell me what version are you using? And I'm going to take you live again while you're looking. So you're looking for that tiny green shield. Then you're going to go to the settings and
Get in my chat.
you're looking for chat.
I can't get into it. It's right here, but it's not opening up for me to chat.
Oh, so try if you're on a laptop, I think that's what you said before.
Yes.
And if you see chat in the bar, yes?
Yes.
And make sure your pointer is right on that button and just give it one click. Sometimes there's a little delay if you click and then just wait for a second or two. Maybe it's floating, Jennifer, meaning it's somewhere on the screen.
Should I get out of the setting box? Maybe that's why.
Yes, good idea. Very
Okay.
good idea. It might be behind.
That. Oh, but then how am I going to know?
Oh, jot it down. Jot down.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back there.
Okay, so I love it. So with everybody here who is putting in 5.9s, thank you so much for playing along with me here. I do see
mine is 5.9.1 and in parentheses 2581.
Okay, so I have a little homework assignment for everybody. And then look, you're going to take advantage of my gift today and you're going to come back and see me on Monday, on one of the next 2 Mondays at 3 p.m. Eastern over there in my Zoom. But this is your homework assignment. You ready? I'm going to take you to, this is me live. This is live Zoom. And you're going to go to zoom.us. That's your first step. Go to a browser. You don't have to do it now. This will be on the video, so you can go back and watch the video. You're going to go to zoom.us. That's Zoom's website. Then you're going to look across the top. I'm putting my pointer on it now. That's why it's changing. There is a button that says resources. They moved it on us. And resources opens up this pretty box. See it? Explore, learn, connect, support. And in the bottom left corner, look at the big Zoom logo right there. My pointer's going around it right now. And it says Download Center. Download Center. And when you go there, you're going to have this blue button at the top that says Zoom Client for Meetings. And see, next to it, it says version 5.10.4. You cannot update it while you're in a Zoom right now. So you'll just do this the moment it gets ended in a minute. And then you're going to go do this and do it on the computer you're using right now so that it updates it. And it will identify it for Mac or PC. It literally downloads it. And what that means is it's coming from the Zoom website down to your downloads folder. And then you have to initiate it so that it actually installs. And I'm going to put my email in the chat for you. If for some reason that doesn't work, and you don't want to take advantage of your gift today and go see me over there, or you don't want to, there's also my free Facebook group. You can find me there too. There's lots of ways to find me, but I would love to know if you had trouble with this updating, because updating your Zoom is extremely important, keeping it up to date. Okay, everybody?
I'm sorry, what was that email, that address?
Yep. So it's in the chat. My email is betsy@mastertechclass.com.
No, the Zoom, URL or web.
Oh. So the instructions were, you start with, you go to where I went here on the screen, zoom.us. Zoom.us is Zoom's website. I think that's what you're asking, zoom.us.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Then you'll go to resources and then download. Okay, Marianne, I'm going to hand it back to you.
Yes, Betsy, thank you so much. Can you just tell me, what does that LIBOR Day Pass get everyone? Does it get them a free session?
It gives them the day and in the playground. So the Zoom playground is a weekly event that I run, and it's held at 3 p.m. Eastern time on either the first Thursday of the month or consecutive Mondays. And it comes with a Facebook group for the week. So the gift is one day in that playground, and you get to ask me anything. I have some topics that I start off the event with just to get things going. We're going to do, next week, we're going to do timers. There are built-in timers, so you can keep on track. We're going to do virtual backgrounds. If you have your room behind you, you don't want it shown, you can actually make your own virtual background with your logo. So if you go to that website that I put in, it's this one. It is mastertechclass.com/let's play. And you can read about it there. That's the one that's coming up on the 16th. So the gift, the day pass, the coupon code lets you pick one of those, the 16th or the 23rd. Okay.
That's great. That is so great.
All right. I wanted to be able to offer something to you all. I've been, had the pleasure of speaking so many times over the year. So please take advantage of it. I'd love to get to know you better and what you're doing virtually with your business.
Great, Betsy. We'll have you back. Maybe we'll take it back to basics to bring everybody back up to speed. We'll just go over. I see a couple of people laughing. It's okay. It's okay. Life gets in the way. We get busy, and maybe we go back to go 2 steps forward. Thank you so much.
Yes. Great meeting, everyone. And I hope to see you soon.
Yes, you will.
Thanks again.
All right.
Marvelous, Betsy. Thank you.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome.
Great job. Thank you, Betsy. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Bye, everybody.
Bye, Betsy.